Hello friends, welcome to the EduSat Network. Our today's lecture is part of our series on ragas, and today's lecture, as I mentioned, is our second lecture on Rag Yaman. And for this we have with us in the studio Dr. Sarita Pathak Yajurvedi, Head Department of Music, Bharati College, University of Delhi. She is an established vocalist of Hindustani classical music of Rampur Sadarang Parampara. She is the recipient of the Sahitya Kala Parishad Scholarship of Delhi State, amongst many other scholarships that she has received. She has performed Hindustani classical vocal music in India and abroad several times, which includes the 5th Yuva Mahotsav organized by Sahitya Kala Parishad Delhi. And with this introduction, of course, I would like to say much more about her, but we would also like to begin the lecture, so I would like to welcome ma'am to our EduSat studio. Thank you so much for coming, ma'am. And I request you to begin our today's lecture.
Thank you. As we had discussed in our previous lecture about Rag Yaman, so today it will be the next part of Rag Yaman. Let me repeat in short what we got the knowledge from the first series. Rag Yaman is known as one of the basic rag of Indian classical music, and it is sung during the evening time of our day. And the rag is, why is it the basic rag? Because when Yaman is taught to the beginner, it automatically gives the bass. It makes your bass strong, and with the help of this strong bass, the other rags, they becomes easy to learn. Now, as I told you that in this rag, the keynote, which is called the Vadi, it is Gandhar, and the consonant, which is known as Samvadi, it is the Nishad. This rag has all 7 notes. But when we perform this rag, we have to go according to the chalan of this rag. Now, what is the chalan? It is the way how we proceed. It is the way of progression of the rag, how we explore the rag. And so we start the rag something like this. If we just go to the Aroh Avroh of the rag, Ni Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. Now, this is just the Aroh Avroh, that means the ascending and descending order of the notes of this rag. Now, when we go to the chalan of this rag, we are going to sing something like this. Ni Re Ga Ma Da Ni Ni Da Sa Sa Ni Da Ni Da Pa Pa Ma Re Ga Ga Re Ni Da Ni Re Ga Re Ni Da Ni Re Sa. Now you must have observed that in this rag we are starting with Ni Re, Nishad and Rishabh. This is the main prominent character of the rag, that we are always going to start with Nishad along with the Rishabh. Ni Re Ga Ni Re Ni Ga Re Ni Re Ga Ma Pa Ma Re Ga Re Ni Da Ni Re Ga Re Ni Re Da Ni Re Sa. Now here it is very clear that we are going to start with Nishad. Now, as I told you that the keynote Gandhar and the consonant Nishad are there in this rag, which are also taken as king and the minister. So, obviously the Gandhar and Nishad are more used, and the nyas is done on these notes. And this rag specially is the bandishes or the different style of singing which can be done in this rag is Khayal, Drupad, Dhamar, Tarana, Bhajan, and of course filmy music a lot has taken this rag for its different songs. Suppose if I go like Zindagi Bhar Nahi Bhulegi Wo Barsat Ki, that's a very popular song of very old movie. Or if we say ghazals, if we take, there is a very popular ghazal, Aaj Jaane Ki Zid Na Karo, or something is Aaj Jaane Ki Zid Na Karo. All rag Yaman notes are there. It is clearly, rag Yaman comes very clearly with as soon as we start singing the notes of this rag. Now, in the previous lecture, I told you about the Sawal and Jawab of this rag, the question and answer process. Means what, like Nirega Madani. See, this is a very clear thing. Here we are saying the question is there. Nirega, the answer Madani. Nire gare nire sa madani da madaga pa. So obviously the sawal and jawab is there to make why the question comes, why to make the sawal and jawab or the question and answer. It is very clear that to make the balance, to make the full frame of this rag, these things are very important, these phrases are very important. Today I am going to tell you how to explore in this rag, or how to do the alapchari, or how to make the taan of this rag. Taan, as alap means when you sing the notes in a slow tempo, that is alap, and taan means when the tempo is fast, then the taan is there. So how to make it slowly? As I told you in my previous lecture, that what are the nyas notes in this rag, where you have to emphasize, where you have to pause, where you have to stop, on which notes. The same thing practically I am going to show you. How are you going to start the alapchari? Now we can classify the alapchari into 4 different phases. Now these 4 different phases. In first phase we are going to use the mandra note. That means the lower octave. We are maximum going to use the lower octave notes along with Sharach and Rishabh Gandhar, not beyond Gandhar. Now how it is going to be sung? Sa sa ni ni da ni da ni ma da ni ni da ni re sa sa ni dha ni da pa ma da ni ma ni da pa ma da ni da ni re sa ni re ga This is the first phase of the alapchari. When we sing it in akar, these notes can be sung like this. Now Now, while singing the composition, especially when we sing the Vilambit composition, obviously the tempo is very slow. So there we can, when exploring the bandish, exploring the rag, we can put the wordings of the bandish with the alapchari, and it becomes something like this. Suppose we are singing, we have taken a composition which have the wordings Sham Padapave. Suppose if it is a Vilambit bandish, we are going to explore the alapchari in this first phase like this. This is the way the bolalap is made. Now we go to the second phase. Now what is the second phase? Second phase means where the progression of the rag or we explore the rag till the pancham of the scale. You can use some notes of the Mandra Saptak also, and we have to sing till the pancham of the. Sometime we can just slightly touch the dhavat of the scale, but till pancham, the second phase of the rag, the second phase of alapchari of the rag can be done very nicely. See the example. Ni re ga, ni re ga, ma ma ga, ni re ga, ma re ga, sa ni da ni re ga, ni ma ma ga, ga ma ga pa pa ma re ga re ni da ni re ga ma re ga ma ga pa re sa ni da ni ma da ni re ga ma ga pa re sa. So it also shows the main character of the main you can say phrase of the rag Yaman. So when we sing it in alapchari, this is the swar vistar. We are using the notes, the different swaras which are used in this rag. Now when we go to the alap chari and we are singing it in akar, it will be something like this. Then if we use the wordings of the bandish, it is going something like this. Shama, 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 Pada Pa alap. Now we have to give importance to the notes which are prominent in this rag during the alapchari also. During our exploration of the rag, when we progression is there, then we have to emphasize on these notes, like must be noticing that nishad we are giving more importance to nishad and to gandhar, and on pancham tivra madhyam is of course there. So why to use it? Because otherwise the rag will change. If we don't sing according to the rules of the rag, we cannot perform the rag in its pure form. So this is the second phase of the rag. Now comes the third phase. The third phase of the alapchari is going to be till the nishad of the rag, or sometime we touch the tar sharj. It will be something like this. Ni re ga ma ma ga ga ma ga pa ga ma da ni ni da pa ga ma da ni ma dha ma ni da pa ni re ga ga ma ma da da ni ma da ni ma ni da pa pa ma re ga re ni re ga re ni da ni re sa. Now comes the alap form of these notes. This was the third phase, and if we use the wordings of the bandish, it can be explored like this. Shama, 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 Padavave, Shama, 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 Padapave, Shama. So you must have got the idea that we explore till the nishad, and sometimes we use the sharj also. It can also be used in the third phase. Now comes the fourth phase. In fourth phase, we can explore till tar sharj and beyond that also. It can be gandhar, it can be madhyam. Ni re ga re ni da ni re ga ma ga pa ga ma da ni da ni have to make it very clearly that the Sharaj, Tar Sharaj has to be sung very clearly. We have to give pause on that, or we can end our alaps also on the fourth phase of the alap. Now, during the when we sing the Vilambit Khayal or we sing the Drut Khayal also, during the Antara, or the paragraph, when we sing the paragraph of the Bandish, we sing this, we use this alap, or we use these notes, because the fourth phase, it hardly has any of the note from the lower octave, from the mantra. So it has to be explored with the help of Tar Sharaj or the notes which are of the higher octave. Let's see if we take the the wordings of some Bandish, how we can explore. Shama, 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 Re, Shama, Ra, Pada, Pa. So must be observing that we are again and again ending our alap on the Tar Shadj, or we are using the notes of the higher octave. Shama, 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 Pada, Pa, Shama, Pada, Pa. Now, these were the four phases of the alap or the alapchari, which is normally used when we sing the bandish or rag yaman. Now the question comes, when are or how are we going to use these alaps or this alapchari while performing or while singing the bandish? The first phase of the alapchari, which I tried to present in front of you, that should be during the beginning, the introduction of the rag. That means when we are going to sing rag yaman, when we are performing, that time we can use the first phase. That means as soon as the listener listens to the first phase, he automatically gets the idea that this is rag yaman. I told you one more point in my last lecture, that was I told you about the pakad of the rag, that means the identity, the phrase which is the main identity of the rag. Now it is it can also be used during the first alapchari of the rag. Now here in rag yaman, when we are going to sing rag yaman, here obviously when we are going to sing as soon as this phrase comes, everybody knows that rag yaman is going to be performed. So the introduction part should have more and more first phase of the alapchari. Now when we sing the bandish and suppose it is a vilambit bandish, vilambit as you know that it has got the slow tempo, the slow speed, the slow lay is there. So there when we are performing the bandish, we have to explore slowly. In my last lecture I told you how different notes have got the importance in this rag. Now we have to sing the bandish, the first sthai of the bandish, and then we have to explore the bandish along with the help of the alap. So here the stepwise when we are going to explore the rag, suppose we are going to explore Rag Yaman, so we have to use these alapcharis slowly. And first, suppose in first alap we are going to, the introduction is different. The introduction we have told our listeners, our viewers, that this is Rag Yaman. Now when we have sung the Sai of the Bandish, we have to slowly, one by one, we have to explore the note. We have to, we'll start with the Mandra Saptak, with Nishad, with Sharj. Then maybe in other alap we can go to till Gandhar, or we can go to Madhyam. Now slowly this progression is going to be there. Now as we proceed, we come to Madhya Saptak Nishad. And before starting to the Antara of the Bandish, we will somehow move towards the Tar Saptak. And then we are going to start the Antara, because normally Antara, the structure of Antara, especially when we see the notes through which it has been structured, they are either of the higher octave or the last 2-3 notes of the Madhya Saptak. Maybe Dhaivat, Nishad, or maybe Pancham, they start from Pancham, but they will hardly start from the Mandra Saptak, as it is in the case of Sthai. So we have to, because then it becomes easy to us to catch the Antara, and it becomes easy to us to do the Badhat, or we say to explore, to progress about the Antara portion. Now the Antara, when we are going to sing Antara, again we are going to explore, to do the progress with the help of the notes of the Tar Saptak, or the higher octave. Here we can use some of the notes from the Madhya Saptak also, maybe Dhaivat, Nishad or Tar Sharj, and we have to explore to the with the help of the higher octave notes. So like this, when the Antara ends, then we come to the main Bandish, the Sthai part of it. This is the way how we explore our rag, how we do the alapchari of our rag, because the question comes what to do, how to do the riyaz, or how to make the alap of the rag. I very clearly told you in both my lectures that which notes have to be sung, how much they have to be used, which are important, which phrases are important, what we have to clearly show the keynote, the consonants and the main phrases of the rag, and you have to also keep in mind the rules and regulations which have to be followed throughout the Badhat of the rag. Now this is the alapchari, and I have also told you that alapchari, when we sing in an akar form, it is called akar, alap in an akar form. Then if we use the notes, Swarvista, we say that we are going to do it with the help of the notes. But when we use the wordings of the bandish of that particular rag, that they are called bolalap. And the Dhrupad form of the Dhrupad style of singing has got a very strong part of alapchari, and our khayal singing is totally based on the Dhrupad style, because after Dhrupad only the khayal it came into existence. So while doing the alapchari, we follow to the Dhrupad, whether it is an instrumental music or it is a vocal music, we always follow the alapchari, the Dhrupad style. Now there is one more question which comes, how to make the taan. Taan is the fast phase of the notes. Now again, because when alapchari is there, it is very clear how the notes and which notes are going to be used. Those notes in a fast tempo, when we sing, they become something like this. Ni re ga ma pa ma ga re, ni re ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re, ni re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Now in a very short this thing, if I sing with the help of tabla, teen tal. Ni re ga re ni re ga ma pa ma ga re ni re ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re ni re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. It is a big tan. If we sing it in a fast tempo, ni re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re ni re ga ma pa da ni sa re ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re. It is the sapat tan in which we are going in a very plain form. Now ni re ga ma da ni ni da pa ni da pa ma ga re ni re sa. This is a complicated tan because we are going to make different designs out of it. Ni re ga re sa ma da ni da pa ni re ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. A different design with the help of the higher octave notes. Ni re sa ni re ga ma ni re ga ma pa ma ga re ni re sa ni re ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re ni re sa. This is I am going in a different tempo other than the what is being showed in the which is being coming in the Talmaya. So this is the way it can be used in the Khayal. So this is a very short but very clear this thing picture of Rag Yaman, and I hope I made you this Rag very clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming here and discussing about Rag Yaman and also telling our viewers and also giving clear examples of Rag Yaman and also the various rules that must be followed when practicing. So, of course, I'd like to tell the viewers that our series on ragas is continuing and we shall be having a lecture tomorrow as well. So, please stay tuned in for that. And with this, I'd like to thank ma'am for being here. Thank you very much, ma'am, and we look forward to more wonderful musical lectures. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thanks a lot.